And we are rolling on August 25th for part 2 of our film speech of the Seas. And we are hearing from Yuling and how a film really moved her, the great master.
Hi everyone, my name is Yuling.
Hi, Yuling.
Kung Fu, 2 characters, one horizontal and one vertical. Only the one left standing in the end is right. This was said by Ye Wen, one of the greatest master Kung Fu master in China. And at the beginning of the film, the great master directed by Wang Jiawei. And today I want to share this movie with you because it really moved me. It made me inspired and it made me sad. It also made me interested with Chinese Kung Fu. Alright, first statement. Modern society always full of desires and ambitions. And traditional virtues such as modesty and gentility had been forgotten as the old society passed away. So by telling the stories of Ye Wen and some other boxing master during the recent China, this film deals with Chinese Kung Fu and the inside philosophy that you might be interested in. And the famous reviewer Zhang Yi once said that the great master had reappeared the lost epoch of classical China. So if you want to see Kung Fu and the Chinese classical beauty, I highly recommend this movie. Okay, first, the body. Firstly, this movie inspired me because of the experience of Gong Er. She was the only child of Gong family, but she did not shoulder a lot of hope by her father because she was a girl. Her father once talked to her that you have engaged and you don't need to tangle with the family affairs. Just be a doctor and live peacefully, that's enough. But unfortunately, her father was killed by his apprentice. And when she took the avengement on the person who killed her father, he was insulted that you have already engaged and you are no longer the member of Gong family. So he definitely abandoned his engagement and she practiced Kung Fu a lot. At last, he killed the apprentice and regained the dignity and the honor of her family. This experience let me think of myself because I was also the only child of my family, and my father has the same attitude like her father. But maybe it's every girl's wish to live a happy and peaceful life, but I just can't bear the sexism around me. I studied hard to be enrolled by one of the top universities in China, and now I'm also preparing myself for the graduate school in America because her experience has inspired me that girls should tear their strengths by their actions. Alright, secondly, this film made me sad because during the film, Ye Wen has experienced the Japanese war of aggression against China, and because he refused to cooperate with the Japanese government, he lived in a poor condition during that period. And one of his friends just killed because of his impolite manner to the Japanese army. And this scene just reminds me the savageness of that war. I still remember when I first saw the pictures that capturing that history, showing that there are so many people died on the road. I feel really sad, and I was also angry. And that period of China was a dark one, and I think it should not be forgotten. And thirdly, this movie also showed me the subtle of Chinese Kung Fu. Kung Fu is different with martial art because unlike martial art, which is more likely to be used to scuffle with others, Kung Fu is more decent. And although it is also used to defeat the competitor, to win is not the final goal of Kung Fu. Just like Gong Er's father told her, keep going, never stop. I guess this is one of the most important spirits of Kung Fu. And in this way, Kung Fu is in everyone's heart. So, in summary, I have shown you 3 ways that this movie has moved me. this is one of the most favorite film of mine, and it told me that the goal of my life is to strengthen myself and help others and never stop. So I guess life is difficult and they're always full of competitions. I hope everyone here can keep going and be the one left standing in the end. Thank you.
421. Okay.
Hi, Lillian, I thought your speech was really clear. And,
Step away from the board one step. You're too close to the wall. It looks like you're afraid of the audience. Good.
It was really clear and it flows, but I wish that you can shorten the plots of the movie and like focus more on your own story.
Yes. Yes. And how do I say this politely? You learn from, you've heard me say this to others, and so you learn from others, and so when you're looking at your own speech, you go like this and mark out. You had almost 7 sentences of a plot summary. So you edit, you learn, because I said someone else lost points because they had too long a plot summary. So you change yours before you go up, see? You learn from others. Yeah. Improvement back there. Yeah.
Jessica.
Hi, Jessica.
I like your speech, but can you just like eye contact? When you did by walking over, but can you just fidget it a little? So like cutting down on that would be great.
Okay, good. You're very fluent, very smooth. I would like to see you smile more when you speak, have more facial expression, and I would like to see you work on an emphatic style of delivery where you speak soft, where you speak loud, or sometimes you're fast, sometimes you're slow, to emphasize a point. So you break it, you vary it up. So it's like you're very fluent, you're very good, don't get me wrong. But you want to learn to vary it so you're more interesting to listen to. Okay? Well, your introduction was a quote and had to do with the last man standing, and you sort of tied back to that. So I was looking for you to tie back to "Don't tell me how ferocious you are," and you said you want to be left standing at the end, which was a clever tie back and good ending, but it was okay. On your inspired, sad, and entranced were your 3 emotions, right? Yeah. What I didn't quite get, what I finally got at the end, was your quote. And I didn't get the date of the quote or where it was from on your review of the movie.
Yes, it's
Okay.
from a review.
Yeah, you say it. You say it's from the New York Times in 2016, like that. So we know it has credibility. On your first emotion, inspired, long plot summary, and then you finally got to your story, which was your father is sexist and he doesn't think much of you because you're a girl, and doesn't believe you're going to do anything or go anywhere because you're a girl, and you're out to vindicate yourself and prove him wrong, and you hate the sexist society that exists in China. And so you've come to America where we're a tiny bit more enlightened, maybe, right? Yeah. But what I didn't get from that story is that word inspired, and what inspired you, and what's inspired. Where are you? You're inspired to prove him wrong, I guess. Is that what you were trying to communicate?
Yes, that's why I say a lot about the plot, because I think it's important for you to understand why I was inspired by Gong Er. Because she was once insulted by his brother not real brother. That she was a girl and she was no longer the member of Gong family.
Right.
But she approved that I was a girl. I can do what I want to do. I can just defend the honor and the dignity.
I know, we heard the plot summary, and
Yes,
she
yes.
killed the guy that killed her father. We got that.
Yeah.
Yes, we got that, but you didn't need that to prove you're inspired to prove your father wrong. We needed more. And I agree with the comment, I guess it was Jessica, or the first comment was to spend more time on your emotions and less time on the plot. Okay, on the aggression in China, it wasn't really, since it was really sort of a secondary thing. It was sort of like, it was okay, you know, because there's no question this was a very dark period, and it was sort of like I read the book, The Rape of Nanking, and I just said, ooh, this was ugly and awful, and the pictures and the stories and the thing on the road, pictures of the people on the road, and it sort of made me feel angry and sad, which is what I thought were the two emotions you were really communicating. But you needed to spend more time on your reaction to the pictures and relive your emotions to your feelings about the Japanese treatment of the Chinese, okay? The third one, I didn't get a personal story at all. It just wasn't there, so you know that I didn't get anything there. So that was a problem. Your kanais, better control of time. Well, you did that. Speak with more emotion and more eye contact. How'd it go?
I think I have tried to express my emotions, but maybe I was more focused on the emotions, so I forget to more contact with audience.
Okay. You'll do better next time. You had a nice job today. Thank you. Okay, who did I say is next? Okay, do we have time? No. Yeah, we have time. We can get one more. If you have to leave, go now. We'll hear Jessica. Okay, what this means, just for future reference for next week, is we will hear the A's PC. We'll start on the A's PCs, be ready A PCs, after we finish the C's of the film, okay? So PCs, be ready Tuesday. Everyone say that aloud. PCs, be ready Tuesday. Yeah, good. Okay, rock and roll.
Hi, I'm Jessica.
Hi, Jessica.
So sometimes Matilda longed for a friend, someone who was kind and courageous, like the ones in her book. This is what Roald Dahl said about one of his most beloved characters. And today I would like to share with you guys about a movie called Matilda, because it moved me so much. It made me sad and made me really grateful, and it inspired me. Matilda is a movie about a little girl that is very gifted and uses her telekinetic powers to not only defend herself, but her friends and her wonderful teacher from an evil principal who goes by the motto of use the rod, beat the child. And in 1996, James Berardinelli, that's how you say it, in Real Views said that this movie was aimed for an audience of 10 and under, but it became a movie that was highly satisfactory black comedy that found fans in all ages, and I totally agree with that.
Good.
So to start with my first emotions, it made me feel really sad. So it's in the beginning of the movie where they show Matilda being constantly ignored by her parents, and they dismiss her intelligence as being a smart aleck. And when I saw that, it reminded me of the girl that I met back in India. So 2 years ago, I was able to go on a mission trip to India where I got to teach kids that were impoverished. And one of the students that I met was very bright, intelligent, and very eager to learn. Later, I found out that her father was an alcoholic who did not work, which made it hard for the family to get by on a day-to-day basis. So even going to school was it wasn't guaranteed for her. And just seeing that a girl with so much potential to become so successful, seeing that she couldn't really freely strive to be that person, it really broke my heart. And watching Matilda being shut down by her own family reminded me of Stella, and it really made me sad. And for the second emotion that I felt was that it made me really grateful. It was when Miss Honey goes all the way to Matilda's house just to persuade her parents of how wonderful Matilda is. I came to America when I was 7, and when I came, I only knew how to say like hello, thank you. So I didn't want to go to school. I started meeting new friends. But my second grade teacher, she always encouraged me to practice English, and she sacrificed her time outside of class just to make flashcards for me every week. 50 flashcards, which takes a long time. And because she did that, I was able to become fluent in English by 4th grade. And so when I saw Miss Honey go out of her way just for the well-being of her student, it really reminded me of my second grade teacher and made me feel grateful. And for the last emotion, it made me inspired. In the end of the movie, Miss Honey not only does all those things for Matilda, but she goes to adopt her and make her own family. And when I saw that, I always wanted to help little children, but I never put it into action because I would make excuses like, oh, I have school, oh, I have this. But when I saw that, it inspired me to continue to go out and volunteer for little children that are going through like financial hardships or that are from broken families. It taught me to really focus on who they are and really care for them. So it inspired me to not only be like Miss Honey, but also to empower them, to let them know that they too can reach their potential and really be a wonderful person that they ought to be. So in summary, I've told you how this movie made me feel sad, inspired, grateful, and inspired. It made me sad because it reminded me of Stella. It made me grateful because it reminded me of my second grade teacher, Mrs. Yancey. And it made me inspired to continue to become like Miss Honey. So there should be no doubt in this room that that movie really touched me. So like what Roald Dahl said about Matilda and how she longed for that kind and courageous friend in the book, I wish to be that friend that not only exists in the book, but exists in reality, so that I can help empower these children and let them know that they're really cared for, because they're born to be loved and cared after for who they are and not what circumstances that they are growing up in. And yeah, so that was it.
Thank you. 417. All right. You're here. Let's go.
Hi everyone, my name's Maria.
Hi, Maria.
Jessica, you always have this really nice voice. You're very clear, you are very organized, and you have open gestures. The only thing I could suggest is more eye contact, but I think you do that already, kind of. Just a little more.
Yeah. Let me just interrupt you. Are you thinking 3 to 5 seconds when you look around the room, or are you making it more cursory, sporadic, and short? Yeah. Okay, we'll practice that in a second. Yes, please. Yeah. Name?
My name's Grace.
Hi, Grace.
Yeah, I love your speech, and you did give grace tolerance and put your emotions down, so I didn't see any improvements.
What?
Yeah,
What's the improvement?
No, I don't see any improvements.
She was perfect. She walked on water. Okay, Jessica. I like your intro and your tie back. Next time, work on a different one than a quote, maybe a joke, a poem, a story, a little bit more of a grabber. Sad, grateful, inspired was good. Your SIG statement was perfect. You memorized the quote, which was really a mouthful, and you got it all down perfectly, and you said you agreed with it, and so that was excellent. On your sad, you told the story of India, where a very precocious young lady that could amount to something probably was not going to because of an alcoholic father, and she sporadically came to school, and you felt very sad about her potential. And that was an excellent. I felt your sadness, and I felt you relive and sense the sadness that you felt when you were in India. And so that was well done. Your movement was pretty good. Just a one extra step in each direction would be more effective. On your second motion on grateful, yes, Miss Nancy is a saint to take the time to make out 50 flashcards weekly for you so you could learn the language. We all have a Miss Nancy in our lives, one place or another, and we need to remember to thank them or to remember them or whatever, because, but anyway, I felt your gratitude toward Miss Nancy, and so that was well done. I also want to compliment you on the shortness of your plot summaries. You didn't belabor the Matilda plot, so we didn't get bogged down in that. On the inspired, we got a sense that you're looking to give back and to do this kind of thing, and I felt you were really inspired. Your summary was pretty good. Conclusion was fine. Tieback was fine. Your canai, to be on time, to make more eye contact, and to walk more naturally. How'd it go?
I walked a little too short, and I think I should make more eye contact.
Yeah, let's practice it real quick. Let's start over here. I'm going to tap my hand when it's been 5 seconds. So I want you to just tell us about your morning. So take a few steps over here this way. And tell us about your morning. Just speak and look. And when 5 seconds are going, I'll tap. But if you blink or look up or look away, I'll restart the clock. And then you look at this fella. Okay? So begin.
This morning was long. I had to spend the whole morning translating for my dad. It was long. Traffic was bad. But it was still good because I made it here and I got to do my speech and get it over with. Yeah. And I'm excited to go home, and I feel so bad for making myself stay. I hope it ends soon.
Right than pink.
Hi, your speech was great today.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I had fun.
Okay. Yeah. One thing you do when you make your eye contact is you narrow your eyes a little bit. You might want to try to open your eyes more and make them wider if you can. Really excellent job. Thank you. Okay, our time is done. Remember, PCAs, be ready. And we will finish with Maria, Anthony, and Andrea next time.
So PCs aren't by ABC, right? Is this presenting?
What?
The PCs?
A.
So this PC's A?
Yeah, PCAs will be presenting. Oh, from before? Okay.
Is it still the same as the films on the lettering?
What?
Is it still the same as the films for the lettering, how the letterings go?
Yeah.
So am I a B? Just want to double check that. I'm
What's
a B,
your
right?
name?
Randy?
Randy what?
Doe? Dio.
You're a B.
Okay, so I'm presenting Thursday then.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. You can do it now. Yeah.
Thank you. I choose the same film with Ralph.
As Ralph?
Ralph's the first guy who gave the speech.
Boy, another mark against you. Okay, did you have a quick question?
I just wanted to say that I'm just saying this, but like I'm really enjoying your class.
Oh, great.
Because like it's been really just like fun, and also like all the advice that you give the students has been really helpful. Too.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing your feedback.
Because I'm always the one laughing at everybody's jokes on the side because I'm having a good time.
Good. I'm glad you are, and I'm having a good time too. But thank you for your feedback. Yes, sir.
I wanted to let you know if you ever needed like help with anything, please let me know. You know, after class, I usually stay around like for traffic to die down. So,
Oh yeah, I definitely need help. So stick around.
all right, I will. I'll just.
Way outside, or you could sit in here and listen to her speech.
Oh,
Unless you have something to do
I
outside.
get something from my car, so I'll be back.
Okay, great. You know where my office is?
Roll something, right?
Yeah, 1336.
1336.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Every grown-up school wants children, but few of them remember that.
Wait. I'm not ready. I didn't start the time. Okay. Okay, are you set? Okay, she stands before you, managing attention, communicating respect, saying to yourself, I respect everyone in the room, finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name, feel the love, start your speech.
Hi everyone, my name is Grace.
Hi, Grace.
Hi. Every grown-up school wants children, but few of them remember that. That's a quote from The Little Prince, and here's a film that I'm going to share with you today that will remind us of that. The film is Inside Out. According to the director Peter Docter, it is a love letter to our children. But as for me, it is more of a love letter to grown-ups to remind them of being a child. Inside Out goes inside the mind of an 11-year-old girl, Riley's mind, which is controlled by 5 emotions: joy, sadness, anger, disgust, and fear. It tells an imaginative story and it shows us how emotion works and how memories are established and stored. The film really moved me. It made me laugh while crying. It moved me by making me feel happy, sad, and encouraged. The first way it moved me is that it made me feel happy. When Ryan's family first moved to San Francisco and found everything was a mess, the house was old and dirty and even without backyard, but they still try to cheer them up. They pretend to play hooker ball with sweep and speedball. It reminds me of the good old time when there wasn't so many electronic instructions like today, so I have to play with everything I can find in the daily life. My dad
Why don't you go shut the door? So it's too loud. Sorry. The camera's picking it up. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt. So let's say the first way the film moved me is it made me feel happy. So let's start with
The
happy.
first way the movie moved me is that it made me feel happy. When Riley's family first moved to San Francisco, they found everything was a mess. The house was old and dirty and even without backyard. But they still try to cheer themselves up. They pretend to play hooker ball with sweep and speedball. It made me happy because it brings me of the good old time where there wasn't so many electronic instructions like today. So I just play with everything I can find in the daily life. I still remember my dad used to scrap the bamboo to shape it into a dragonfly, and it can fly really high. He also taught me how to cut the melons or fold the papers to shape it into different shapes. And it was a great time I've ever had, and I'm glad the movie brings the happy memories back again. The second way the movie moved me was that it made me feel sad. The incident in the movie that made me feel sad was when Bimbo, Riley's imaginary friend, was finally found forgotten in a corner of her mind castle. It reminded me of my imaginary friend as well. When I was young, my parents were so sticky to me that I wasn't allowed to play outside. So I had to stay at home alone for a lot of time, and I created a character to write letter with. I told her every story happened on me, and we made stories to relieve the player. We built a new world where we can do whatever we do, and we made all impossible things possible there. But as I grow up, I meet more people and make more friends. I moved forward, but he was left behind. I didn't even notice that he was here waiting for me to play with him again until I see the movie, and which makes me feel sad. The second way the movie moved me was that it encouraged me. The sadness, the character in the movie was always detested and ignored by his colleagues. They think she can do nothing except making trouble. But when sadness was missing, the control center was such a mess that everyone began to realize her meaning of existence. And it encouraged me because there was one time I fully denied of myself. I thought I can do nothing well, and I'm afraid of talking with others. I try to avoid every social connection. Sometimes I just wish I can be invisible. But when I saw sadness was finally being nicely treated and valued in the movie, it encouraged me because I feel I suddenly noticed that everything has their own place. Every emotion is valued. Sadness does matter, and so does every one of us. We all deserve to be loved. And also, the movie bring me back of the memories. When I was a children. If I saw something cool, the first thought in my mind is that I will do it instead of I can't. In some ways, the movie moved me by making me feel happy, sad, and encouraged. There's no doubt in this room that the movie really moved me. It brings me the good memories of being a children and let me feel the feelings of being loved. We, as a love letter to our children, Inside Out expands all spiritual genres a child would go through, and as a love letter to grown-ups, Inside Out will hit you if you still remember the feeling of being a child, and if you don't, it will remind you. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that was 4:45, but we had a little interruption. So it was a little bit over time. Remember to print on one side only,
Okay.
not two sides. Okay, Grace. I liked the movie that you chose. It's a good movie. Try not to, if someone else has chosen it, then choose something else.
Yeah, I didn't
don't.
know this because
What?
I didn't know because he gave the speech today.
Yeah, well, there was a sign-up sheet that went around, so
Yes, I didn't
you
know
read
that.
it. You didn't know that. Okay. You quoted the Little Prince here,
Yeah.
who said, all grown-ups were once children, but only a few of them remember it. And I wanted you to say something about the Little Prince in the end, and more about, I liked your love letter and to say, so remember the words of the Little Prince. We need to remember what we learned in our childhood or something like that, okay? Yeah. All right, on your thesis, happy, sad, encouraged, and that was fine. Director Peter Docter inside is a love letter to our children. Was that your film review?
Yes, it's
Okay, because you were supposed to, if it was supposed to be, you're supposed to say the New York Times in 2016, and I agree or I disagree with the quote. Anyway, it wasn't exactly a film review quote. It was more like a critic would say, I loved Inside Out, or I hated Inside Out because it was stupid. Okay, I disagree with that, see? Yeah. Okay. Your significant statement was okay, except missing the quote which you had above. Okay. On happy, you had a pretty short plot summary, so that was good. And then you went into the fact that you remembered the time when there weren't so many electronic instruments, as you put it, and your father made things out of bamboo and sticks, and life was simpler and better. What you didn't do was, and that's why I felt happy.
I said the movie brings the happy memories back.
Okay, but not the movies,
Yes,
but
I should say that specifically.
I say that specifically, and remember it and re-feel it. Remember that time when he threw the dragonfly in the air and the wonder that you saw when it was flying, and that sort of thing. Okay, on the second way the film moved me, it made me feel sad. Okay, here we have sad, and your parents, for some reason, said you couldn't play with anyone, so you invented a friend, to have a friend, to converse with and to, fill the time and so forth. And that was a sad story, and I liked it, but I wish you had returned to it and said, and that's why I was so sad, okay? On the third story, Encouraged. Was the time I didn't understand. This confused me. So if you watch yourself tonight on YouTube, see if you can't see why it wasn't clear. And I want to digress for a moment before I talk about the third story. I'd like to see you work on a delivery now that's not just so much the same, but louder, softer, faster, slower. Change it up. Change your voice. Change it up. Be more interesting to listen to. See? Yeah. Okay, back to your third emotion, encouraged. This is kind of a tough emotion to communicate, but it was very much like the girl back there that was saying, the woman that made flashcards for her 50 a week, encouraged her to learn English. So you said, I thought I can do nothing well. I felt helpless. I was afraid of talking with others. I tried to escape from all social connections. What?
Because I was going through the similar situation with sadness, the character in the movie.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it finally be filled and it encouraged me.
Yeah, let me finish. If I was walking on campus and saw my classmates from far away, instead of saying, hey, I quickly changed to another road to avoid meeting them. Sometimes I tried to be invisible. But when I saw sadness was finally accepted and valued, I realized that everything has its place. Sadness, the character, does matter, as does every one of us. Also, this reminds me that when being a child, if I saw something cool, the first thought in my mind was, I will do that, not that I can't, which encourages me a lot. Okay, now, that was very kind of messy and convoluted. I didn't really get to understand why you were encouraged or how you were encouraged. I understood how the film you decided you were encouraged, but I didn't get in some incident in life when you were encouraged, right? So you were just saying the film encouraged you to accept sadness as a legitimate emotion, right?
To tell more about what after I am encouraged.
What?
No, I mean, I should tell more stories about it encouraged me to do something.
To do something that you first said, I can't do that. Yeah. Okay. That would be good. Your summary, your conclusion, and I talked to you already about your tie back. Okay. On your kanai, speak slowly and be more natural, more open gestures, and remember to move. How'd it go?
Yeah, I think I remember to move. And
Yes.
my voice, maybe I used to speak quick. I think my voice is kind of like, I think not too so natural, but I've tried.
Yes. Well, with practice, it can change, so that will be good. What I would say about a piece of what you want to do, your pronunciation needs a little work. So slow down a little when you start out speaking so people get used to how you speak, and then you can pick it up a little. So you kind of over-pronounce in the beginning, and then people will understand you better. But if you over-articulate, I'm exaggerating now like this, but you will be more understood. Because sometimes when you talk to me, when you come up to me, I have to say, what? Because you just spit something out. And I don't get a subject and a verb and a preposition and an object. I don't get it. I just get a bunch of words thrown at me. I don't get it. So maybe it's me. Anyway, you did a nice job. So keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for listening.
You're welcome. And thanks for staying after so we didn't run so far behind. We only have 3 left. That's not bad. Okay, let me call back that call that I couldn't take. Bye, take care. Hi, I was doing makeup speeches, so I couldn't take your call. Sorry.
Oh, okay, no, I'm just on campus. I was going to see if you want, we could work for like an hour or something, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Where are you?
Okay, I'll stop by.
Oh, you'll come by? I'm still in the classroom, so.
Okay, I'll go to your office and wait.
Oh, you're in my office?
No, not right now, but I'll go there and wait.
Okay, great. See you in a few minutes. Bye.